Welcome back. We begin the conversation this morning in South Africa, where the popular South African house DJ Maphorisa has appeared in court after being apprehended for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend over the weekend. The DJ, whose real name is Sonnyboy Sekowe, was apprehended on Sunday after allegations that he allegedly assaulted his partner Thuli Phongolo at her apartment. She opened a case against the 35-year-old entertainer after this. Maphorisa is not the first South African entertainer to come under fire for assaulting his partner.
Yeah, recall that weeks before, the fiancé of late hip-hop artist, aka fell to her death from the 10th floor balcony of a Cape Town hotel. Allegations surfaced of violent, drug-fueled arguments between them. Now this morning we're joined by South African entertainment journalist Joy Mpande to give us the latest on this story. Joy, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you. It's never-ending drama in South Africa, from the entertainment to politics, to load shedding. There's just something going on all the time. But give us a background. What do we know about this incident or alleged incident DJ Maphorisa is accused of? What really happened, from what you know?
Yes. Well, so it's all alleged, but it's a statement from the NPA, but it still says allegedly that DJ Maphorisa was apprehended on Sunday evening. So they had an argument, or the fight ensued from an argument from which there was some sort of a problem that would happen, or some argument that they had at a gig that they were booked. That was on Sunday. So on Saturday. So on Sunday, Thuli Phongolo said in her statement, she said that she approached DJ Maphorisa to try and resolve whatever argument, whatever dispute that they had, and that led to a fight. So she apparently suffered bruise, but that's what's written on the statement as well. It's alleged that DJ Maphorisa dragged Thuli Phongolo, fought with her even towards the balcony at an apartment in Sandton. We're not really too sure whose apartment it is, but it just says an apartment in Sandton. So that's what we know for now. But at the same time, when DJ Maphorisa appeared in court yesterday at the Randburg Magistrates Court, Thuli Phongolo filed a withdrawal statement, and that was before the court, to which she agreed that the accused, which is DJ Maphorisa, to be released on bail of 4,000 rand. So he's been released on bail. However, the case was remanded for the 14th of June this year. So we're still going to see them back in court on the 14th of June. It's quite a big case at the same time, but the confusion, or the big talk right now, is why Thuli Phongolo decided to withdraw the statement, or to file a withdrawal of the statement, so he can be released on from jail rather, because this is a big case of GBV. So there are questions around that. We have been trying to get a hold of Thuli Phongolo. We have been trying to get a hold of Maphorisa and the management, of course, just to get answers from them, but they're quite mum about the matter. But we have also seen images of DJ Maphorisa in court. That was yesterday, that is. So we're just looking to see how this case unfolds when they're back in court again on the 14th of June.
Right. I'm glad that you mentioned that she had withdrawn the case, because that was going to be my next question, to ask why exactly she withdrew the case, filed for a withdrawal, but we don't seem to have the answers to that yet. As we count down to the 14th of June.
We can only speculate.
Yes. Let's talk about what the charges are. What are the charges that DJ Maphorisa is facing?
Yes. So when he appeared in court, it was on charges of assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. That's what the NPA stated after they appeared in court. So that's what we know, that it was just for assault, basically GBV at this point. Those are the charges, just of assault, with intent to cause grievous bodily harm.
All right, I'm actually impressed, and yes, I did tease initially saying there's always one drama or the other in South Africa, but I'm impressed that, we see a case like this, with a high-profile, celebrity like this actually appearing in court. You don't get to see that, very common here in Nigeria. But I want to, now talk about, the prevalence of gender-based violence in South Africa, especially amongst, celebrities, people in the entertainment industry. Is that a problem? Is that something that needs to be spoken more about?
I think it is something that we can speak more about. I mean, GBV on its own is as an entire conversation, but it went in line with entertainment. I mean, if you recall, I mean, you mentioned the AKA one, which is not really something that we can talk much about because it's still an ongoing case. Well, we never really got to the bottom of that, rather. So justice was never really served. But if we talk about maybe a case of Babes Odumo and Mampintsha back then, which was a situation where we saw a video go viral with us witnessing, Mampintsha lay his hands on Babes Odumo. However, they never got to apprehend Mampintsha because that was also in the case of the woman or the victim in that incident who did not really want to take the case further. So right now, the difference in this case is that Thuli Phongolo has decided to take, matters into her own hands to make sure that she does get justice for, Maphorisa's wrongdoings.
Let's talk about, why gender-based violence is such a huge problem in South Africa. First, I'd like to ask how well safe and protected women in South Africa feel. And the second layer to this question would be, is there anything about the culture that enables gender-based violence to thrive?
I think the culture, I like the fact that you're mentioning that. I think the culture that does enable gender-based violence to thrive would be the fact that a lot of women have felt that when they go and seek justice, when they go and try report a case, they do come back with stories of maybe like I tried to open a case, I have scars to show it, but they still allowed the man to walk away freely. So people, when it comes to reporting cases of gender-based violence, I think for a lot of women, they are a little bit discouraged that they will actually end up getting justice in that case, because somehow it seems like the law is not really on our side, I would say. That being from just the stories that we hear every day from like different women, not necessarily even just celebrities, but women in general in South Africa. So I think that's just the culture around that does kind of discourage women to not take their cases further or to even report them altogether. I think what actually just could be done is if the law were justice must just be served. And I think this is one case that if we do see justice being served, that it will sort of encourage other women that, if they do bring their cases forward, the law will be on their side.
Might be a little tough to, encourage them to bring their cases forward because every now and then, for example, when you see a couple fight, people always say stay out of it because when you get involved, she eventually drops the case or she, decides to forgive him. It's frustrating. And so it might also be a problem with South African women themselves, not knowing that, gender-based violence must be prosecuted to the, the full extent of the law. I saw a story on Babes Odumo and an assault case against Mampintsha. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Yes.
Which she also dropped the charges against him. Correct. Pretty much the same thing that is playing out here. So do South African women also need to know, better?
I don't even want to put a lot of blame on South African women. I think we do really know better. I think, as I would even emphasize, it's just a matter of people feeling like the law is not on their side. So in as much as we can go report on a case, more often we hear stories of women coming back and saying, like, I'm still getting beatings, I'm still putting a protection order, I'm doing everything that I can do from whatever in my power, but I'm just waiting for the law to take its course. So I don't think we should really put too much blame on South African women. It's just, but obviously we do hear of cases where women do go back to the man. You just mentioned Babes Odumo. They continued their relationship. They continued, with their marriage and everything else, despite that case. So that just means, as you mentioned, maybe some of this we must just leave it, just mind our own business, as you mentioned. But at the same time, it does not take away that GBV is not a crime to be taken lightly, and I think justice definitely has to take its course.
Absolutely, so much needs to be done. And if you can
come forward, I think definitely.
Yes, very. I mean, it's tough enough to be a woman, and it's even worse when you don't feel safe and protected by the society that is meant to do that. And we hope that we can have less conversations about gender-based violence in South Africa. Thank you so much, Joy and Pandy, for joining us this morning, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Likewise.